Hey racers, we're here with episode 5, Nifty Race. Me and Mike, we're here with Funkaclaw. We're here to talk about PixelTycoons. Let's go and get it. So, do you
Welcome,
want to
Funky.
introduce yourself and some of the project and let us know who you are and what you do and what PixelTycoons is?
All right. First and foremost, thanks a lot for having me here. It's been a while since I do anything of this kind. Have the opportunity to publicly speak about PixelTycoons. My name is Claudio Gomes, also known as Funkaclaw. On-chain and off-chain, as an artist, I'm known as Funkaclaw. As a primary job, I'm a musician. I do some work for advertisement as well. And on-chain, I've been working for over 3 years by now. I started as a volunteer for a wax project that facilitates the creation of music NFTs for artists that don't have the technical or the know-how. So it was sort of a middle service. And at some point, I decided to create PixelTycoons, much inspired, including by Nifty Wizards and Dust and all the Telegram activity. That's where I got to know Wax. I first knew about Wax and started interacting with Wax on Atomic Hub and through Alien Worlds, which was most like my entry point into Wax. But very shortly after, I discovered a whole new layer of community involvement, of amazing technology. By the time was very, very, very new on the field. I had never ever heard about anything like that. And I released PixelTycoons. PixelTycoons is first and foremost a NFT collection, and secondly, it's becoming a ecosystem of different games. And the assets from this collection are both the characters and the tools, as well as the ingredients from this game ecosystem. So through holding certain NFTs, you are allowed to perform certain actions, and that way you get NFTs that you can use in different games. On this case, due to the complexity of the collection and the long-term vision, and since most of the game UIs at the moment are are Telegram bots, to make it simpler on the users, all the games are splitted instead of having a full big DApp with all the actions on a single game. But in time, the plan is to start providing different user interfaces apart from Telegram, Discord, and obviously web. And we already are in the making of the smart contracts and changing our architecture to move from centralized apps or centralized database apps into on-chain database apps that different platforms can draw or can feed data from, so that we can provide a much more friendly experience. Because as you all know, Telegram is amazing, but it does not allow you to sign Wax transactions at the moment. So for some actions, Telegram works wonderfully, but if there is any action that requires the user to sign a transaction, then user has to go outside into the browser.
That's an interesting point because Kurt literally designed Nifty Wizards so that we would never ever have to, basically, as he put it, F with wallets. And so we didn't want to have to sign transactions, and we literally just designed it so that our NFTs would be detected, and then that would be how everything was. So that's interesting that you say that Telegram isn't always the best for that kind of thing, and I totally get it. Like,
I'd be interested to know because there's some bots out there like X Rocket and they have like an exchange that's easily used in the Telegram chats. And I didn't look for Wax, but they support Ton, they support Ethereum, Solana. You can pretty much, it's a one-stop shop for all chains. So I'd be really surprised if they didn't have Wax on there. And I'll talk to you about that after the video. There might be something new out there that you haven't discovered yet. I did make a video on the channel about it, not the Nifty Race channel, my other channel. So we'll get into that. There's some cool stuff out there. I like Telegram for that.
Okay.
What was your
did you
introduction to
found,
Nifty Wizards and Dust?
yeah, and
Oh,
how did that inspire you to like create Pixel Tycoons?
Yeah, well, first was because I was noticing that the Collectabot was performing some actions on behalf of admins, and those admins were like doing their work, minting new NFTs for players that were engaging on Nifty Wizard quests and everything. And that bot, Collectabot as well, it was checking user inventories or NFT portfolio, and also the Dust miner bot that was airdropping the tokens on successful or on chat messages that fit the requirements that allow for a token airdrop. And this on itself as concept was very, very inspiring, because by then I had no background of as a developer. In fact, by then I wanted to raise collection with PixelTycoons to fund pay a developer, and we actually did that. It turned out pretty bad. We got sort of scammed and dragged.
Oh,
But it was for the best, because then I had to I decided, I feel myself as honest. Of course anyone can doubt and I invite you to do so, but I decided it would be more secure to pay myself to learn, and then pay myself to do those kind of jobs and start developing the collection myself.
oh wow! So you learned, like, what have you developed Pixel Tycoons in? What is it that you learned? What language?
I started learning JavaScript, but I didn't felt so familiar with it. So despite some councils, they told me I would have better chances with Node.js than with Python. I was very stubborn and developed most of the current infrastructure using Python. For the smart contracts, I use C++, as the IO allows. And for the bots and the rest of the infrastructure, I'm currently using Python. This is not yet a fixed decision, because to make it multi-platform with multiple UIs that point to the same place, maybe it could be better to have a coherence between the different platforms. And TypeScript, JavaScript, especially with WharfKit, they allow really friendly development for web. So in the end, I may have to go from Python to other language. I'm fairly new to C++, and I'm loving C++. It's very concise. With very few words, you can achieve a lot of functionality. And yes, so Python, it was the main one up so far.
Dude, that's amazing. Like, I hats off, because I cannot do that. Like, I can't, like, I need to have a dev to do all that stuff for me. Like, that is not a thing that I can do, is write code. Like, I wish I could, but it's
same here.
Day,
I mean,
everything else.
Mike watched me try to do some front end stuff, and it was like it was coding for front end, but like it's not like your typical go to Shopify or whatever and create your page. You know, it's not like that. You got to actually code the front end. And I was like, I'm just going to learn it, because we were having trouble with devs and stuff like that, and people were getting flaky. So I went to do it. I spent like a week trying to learn it. I was like, I learned some of it, but I started to learn the lingo, and I was like, yeah, this is going to take a minute. I'm not doing this. Like, so kudos to you, man. Like, I wanted to learn it. I learned enough. I understand it. That's cool. Now I'm just going to be able to have somebody else do it. But, just like you said earlier, I've had bad luck in the past with devs walking off with money, so I've had to find avenues to protect myself, going through work sites, making sure that they're held accountable for their work too,
Yes.
So, yeah, you never know until you make the mistake, right?
True story. To tell you the truth, wax was worth 50 cents by then. Nice. It was 1,000 euros. Like it was the lowest wax payment I have done with the highest dollar value ever since PixelTycoons creation. But even before we had all these bots, I was performing the game logic manually, as if I was the bot, delivering the NFTs using bounty blocks. And registering, taking notes from the user commands for no bots at all, because by then we didn't have any, and making sure the infrastructure and the games represented the realities that I was envisioning. And I've done that for a couple of months until we start manifesting these Telegram bots that freed me from this work of being the game master for every single game. Now we have one game master which is automated, and it's pretty interesting.
Oh man, I know that paid well. I did that early on, and that is not a thing that I wish to go back to ever, bro. That is awful.
That's why I learned code. So and it has been very beneficial to me because I come from an artistic background, and I can work with logic easily, but I can also be creative in many ways. Like I have a jazz background, so I really believe jazz open up my mind also as a developer, because makes us creative in achieving results. Sometimes we may not do it as clean as a professional dev would do it, but creativity takes us to get to where we need to.
And you do it with style, right?
Well, I don't know
with
about
funk.
that.
With funk.
Exactly.
We do it with funk.
He's got the funk.
Oh yeah.
Gotta have that funk. All right. So we're on the site right now on your GitHub, right? Gitbook? Yeah, Gitbook.
Gitbook, yeah.
Yep. So is there anything you want to tell us about this, how to navigate it, where people should go to get started with PixelTycoons, what they'll need to get started?
Well, the first tab with the title PixelTycoons below, it's some general information. Collection news are not really up to date at the moment. Vision and values, there's something for people to know, like what this is all about in a conceptual level. The team is pretty much just myself so far. I count with some help here and there from community members, but nothing very committed.
Have you thought about utilizing AI to do this? Because I've heard of some people, and I'm starting to research it myself, that will automate all this stuff for you, like basically run a business for you. I've looked into it a little bit, but I don't know enough about it. But it might be something you can dive into, especially with you being able to learn pretty quickly, it seems like, and understand that stuff.
Yes, well, yeah, I have mixed feelings with AI actually. It is very helpful in a lot of ways, but and I used it.
Dude, Skynet, bro. Fuck.
It's a damn good thing. I mean, look, it's not going anywhere. And imagine showing up to work without the tools. Everybody else is going to have the tools. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's just the truth about it. You know, if you don't get right, you're going to get left, especially when it comes to AI and wearables. And you're going to be walking around superhumans trying to compete. I mean, how can you even run a business and try to compete with these people? They're going to dominate every industry.
Yeah,
they already do, and they don't even have implants. But yeah, that's my I love AI. Have you utilized it for anything so far, like ChatGPT or anything like that?
Yeah, I do for counseling, like for very monotonous tasks mostly. Sometimes as a teacher, sometimes to solve some doubts. But on the level I reach, I don't pay the monthly subscription. I did pay it for a while and tried it, and it really improved the overall quality of the responses. But I got to a point where it's mostly for automating boring stuff, basically, because for developing, I prefer to do it myself. I feel every time I bring AI into the subject, things get confusing, and I would rather, well, I felt like better developing the apps in a way that I'm comfortable and familiar with. But maybe it's just a matter of writing better.
It's artisanal. That's what it is. It's going to be artisanal. You want a human behind your development, that it's going to be like a thing, you know, like.
But for website automating, I mean, that would be the best, because I feel that's the most difficult part, because we use other vehicles to share the information, like Telegram, like Medium. We release a lot of articles through Medium, and then to connect all that information into websites takes time. And yeah, AI to help with that would be wonderful. I will do some research on it and see how Gitbook
let me know, please, if you find anything.
Sure.
So we're still on the site here. We are looking at our vision. Yeah, everybody can come here and look at it if you like to.
So a good place to start, I would say, sustainable programs, because they will allow users to participate on at least one of the games with very minimal investment, and 66% of that investment can be unstaked. So like the number one from the sustainable program is take CPU for weekly seeds and water. The amount to stake is 20 wax into PixelTycoons CPU, and by farming in our farming bot at least one every 2 weeks, you get whitelisted as long as you keep the stake, and you get free seeds and water every week. And those seeds and water are the NFTs that we use as ingredients in the farming bot to get different vegetables as output. And those vegetables are then used by other games that require calories, and so on and so on. So the good thing about the stake is that simply a stake. It also serves to teach people about those network resources that they can stake in their behalf and on the behalf of others for network resources. And it also helps PixelTycoons process transactions on its main wallet. And then the second mechanic, which is a little bit below, buy RAM for land. So as you can stake wax into PixelTycoons CPU, you can also buy us 10 wax worth of RAM, and you will get one NFT. There is some instructions. You share the proof, and then as soon as I can do it, I will then send the land. This offer is limited to one per user. So as you can see, with 30 wax, you can get one land and like forever airdrop of seed and water that you can use to play the game.
That's cool.
Yeah, and this is for our first game, because I decided to make the central point of the collection and starting point the like food making, to mimic and be realistic as well to what defined us as a civilization, the crucial point where we start settling and working with agriculture.
Yeah, I like staking a lot. I mean, rarely do you see like gamification in it, or like this. I mean, I haven't been a part of any projects where you're gamifying staking. Essentially, you're staking, getting an asset to, for a game, essentially, or even just getting an asset for staking that has utility would be nice. Nobody's giving me anything, and I stake everywhere, so I like this.
Yeah, and that's it. I felt I had to do like this because PixelTycoons games try to be realistic most of the times, and we follow alchemical rules. So to get something, you must give something of equal value. So on this case, to grow a plant, you need seed and water, and you need to have some land that you can sow it in. And since to manifest something on this realm, you will need to spend some NFTs to do so, we can call it a cost. So these costs are what make up the economy of the game. And the playing the game allows you to build assets on top of assets, so that you won't need to buy seed and water every week, because the NFTs you produce in other games, you can trade for seed and water, and then you generate a healthy flow where you don't need to be constantly investing into new NFTs to be able to keep producing new ones. And these are considered like friendly measures for all the curious people, but for everyone in general that wants to take them, and to show that even if you are getting started now, and as in most NFT games, you need NFT to get started. With this, you can get a guarantee that you can get that 20 wax back, because even if you stake it to PixelTycoons and you check that you transfer ownership of the stake, if I notice that, I will send back the 20 wax to the user, because this program is meant that the user is able to unstake the wax whenever they want to get finished and get rid of this opportunity. So that's pretty much it.
Yeah, so go stake your wax and get your seed and water coming in. Then go get your land, stake for that too. Start getting it. Right? That's pretty much how it works.
Yes, and the bot commands are easy. Then where you are right now, or below the games. Each of them contains the command descriptions, what the commands do. They include information about which assets you may need to play the game. There are some games that you don't necessarily need to hold an asset to play or to access some features of the game. For example, this melting pot, this gives points to the user based on NFTs from a bunch of different collections. And so by having Nifty Wizard NFTs, you can come into Melting Pot bot, register your Wax wallet, and every day you can claim points based on your holdings. So the more assets you hold, more points you get. From those points, you can trade them for NFTs, and then those NFTs are part of insane like babushka inception blends. It's hard to explain where it goes from here. There are some games that they don't to produce NFTs. You don't necessarily need to spend ingredients. You just need to hold NFTs. So we have a little bit of everything economically. If we consider economy in an NFT collection, there's a little bit for every taste.
Yeah, that's cool, man. I'm showing the site right now. I clicked on the game itself, and under the game, it was how to play. So I clicked on that, and these are the instructions for each game, correct? So you click on any game, and under it, there should be stuff for you to learn how to play, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
We try to make it by different sections and nested and all that, so that hopefully it makes it easier to navigate, because as Mike said, there is a lot of information. But when you get used to it, most of it is pretty easy. I just stress about informing people, because by experience, people will end up asking me, even if I provide all this information, I will end up having to answer questions. So I try to put as much meaningful information as possible, so that I avoid the need to explain things later as we go.
Smart for sure. Yeah, that gets tiring. Like even when you have the information, you're gonna get the questions. That's inevitable. Always, it'll be like, dude, the pinned message even has it. Like it's right there. It's a secret to life, and you're just missing out on it. I also got it on the site. It's on the Twitter. Yeah. No, I want to DM you, the busiest guy in the room. So we just went over the site, all the things, how you do the things. If you haven't already, join the PixelTycoons chat. They're there. Funkakla is very helpful and very knowledgeable, and I'm sure is very active in the chat. So get in there and get gaming. So, have you heard about Nifty Race yet?
I will be very honest. It's I looked at it first time today when Mike sent me the link, and I got very curious. I was clicking some buttons trying to see what happened in the past. I saw some races that happened, and yeah, I'm unsure if it's like one collection versus AI horses or bot horses, but I'm intrigued. I'm curious. So yeah.
After the sale, there shouldn't be any bots or very many. They're just there to fill, especially during like the testing stages. So we haven't even done a sale yet. So that's why, and everything's working now, which is great. So when we do the sale, we don't anticipate seeing a whole lot of bots, really. All right. So here's a Nifty Race site. We've been over this. We have a video we just made. If you haven't already checked us out, check out niftyrace.com. Get into the chat. Get into the dust chats. Get into all those dust chats. We're about to do a sale, so get in there. There's only 100 ponies.
Nice.
But thanks for coming up, Funkaclaw. Really appreciate you. PixelTycoons, appreciate you for being here. We'll see you soon.
My pleasure.
Thanks, Funkaclaw.
My pleasure.